Where I'm going through my 4 oils: Petitgrain, Geranium, Wintergreen, and our deep blue rub, or in Australia known as ice blue. So, who has these oils? Who wants to get these oils? That's the big question. And this month is definitely the time to actually purchase your oils, that's for sure. So I wanted to briefly go through the different oils and emotionally what they're good for. And I have posted, that's why I'm a bit late this afternoon. I've posted the some comments on the thread, so you have some information. Yep. So Petitgrain essential oil, beautiful oil, great for diffusing, but less is better in the diffuser. It's called the oil of ancestry, which for me is fantastic. I love working with the family of origin emotionally and cleaning and healing those roots that we all have that go back for lifetimes and generations. And so this oil, I'd say diffusing would be a beautiful way of inviting that healing and that awareness to come into play of our ancestors. Yep. And what I love about it is that it gives you an opportunity to go beyond the mentality of being a victim to your ancestors and stepping into acceptance and knowing that they gave their best in giving what they could with the little that they knew. Excuse me. Very, very beautiful oil. So back in the day, or back in the history, it was also great for cleaning, which is fantastic historically. And it's also an oil that's very supports a healthy immune system. It just helps the nervous system. It can help or invite restful sleep, again diffusing, but very less is better. Actually, for sleep, I'd personally put a couple of drops on my feet. Yeah. And if for your generational healing, you could actually put this oil around your heart or on your feet and really bring in that awareness of that you're healing and becoming more spacious. What I love about this oil is that it's actually fantastic for in that process of accepting your ancestors. It brings you into a space of empowerment. So you don't have to walk away from your ancestors because there's so much wisdom that belongs to our ancestry. So, and I love working with that family of origin or the understanding our lineage of our ancestors. It's fascinating. And healing that. And so Petitgrain is a fantastic oil for that. And what else does it do? It's accepting the humanness of our ancestors, and you can find peace in that acceptance. And so then it empowers you. What I also love about this Petitgrain oil is that the more we can accept our ancestors, the more we actually can break patterns that have, in a way, suffocated us and suffocated our family of origin lineage for centuries, for decades. And so that the patterning of the past can be, in a way, severed emotionally. And so then we as people in our bodies now, as human beings, can actually move into a place of empowerment so that we're not repeating the patterns of the past. So it's fantastic emotionally, yeah? And you see the positive in the family of origin. Very, very beautiful oil. So in doing that, you can then also support yourself in using our beautiful rose geranium, or just geranium on this one. Yep, so very much about the heart. Coming back to the heart, the self-acceptance. Again, it's bringing in emotionally the love and trust of the heart, and knowing that it's calming you and grounding you. So the more we love ourselves, the more we actually can accept ourselves, the more we calm our nervous system. It's a beautiful oil for when you're grieving And so it's like beautiful oil for diffusing while you're in a process of grief, letting go of souls or just letting go of the grieving process of grief. And it's a great oil for, in that letting go, you're bringing back the trust and that connection once again. It supports that inner child to come flowering out again. So it's a beautiful, beautiful, soft, gentle essential oil. And so you could bring these two together. You could actually have the oil of Petitgrain supporting you to actually let go of the past and your ancestors and accepting them the way that they have been and the way that they have given you your patternings and your conditioning, and how you are now able to move on as an empowered being through, and also then being able to use our geranium, which can then support the heart as you step into your own power of acceptance. And then we have our beautiful wintergreen oil. And I shared that I had a bit of a story. Actually, I had two stories, didn't I? So the first story was with geranium. And for me, the vibration of this geranium oil and the fragrance of this geranium oil wasn't one of my favorites when I first smelt it, yeah, and I put a couple of drops on my hand and took it in as deep, and it wasn't one of my favorites. I had to be totally honest. And so it was a whole process of learning how to accept myself the way that I am, and loving myself the way that I am, that has brought me around into actually really enjoying this beautiful oil and really supporting the feminine energy and the woman inside me. So very, very beautiful healing, very, very beautiful oil to embrace. And so then with the wintergreen, what I loved about this is it touches my heart because Wintergreen is a part of the co-impact sourcing venture, and we were able to, Adish and I were fortunate enough to actually go up into Nepal, and we went to a village called Ramanchar, which was 10 hours, can you believe it? 10 hours in a bus, and the buses aren't like what we get here in like they're not like Australian buses, and they're definitely probably not like South African buses. It was a long, long journey. What would normally be 100 Ks would be pretty easy coming through here in Australia, but there it was like 10 hours, crazy, crazy. And yet when we came to the point of destination, incredible. We got celebrated on, we got wreaths put all over us, and the Nepalese and the Indians, they all know how to celebrate with lots and lots of flowers. And they danced with us, and it was such a beautiful co-impact sourcing trip. And so we saw firsthand how they grew the wintergreen oil and how they harvested. And it was just very, very beautiful, beautiful. And so it's very much touches my heart that I was part of this sourcing trip where we sourced the wintergreen oil, and it's beautiful oil, and it's sourced in Nepal, as you could hear, and it's extracted from the leaves, and so and the women go up in the early morning, they fill up their big barrel, and then they carry it from around their forehead, and they come down the mountain, and then they weigh it, and then they get paid there immediately. And one of the owners was actually with us, and because doTERRA has a few owners, and one of them, Corey Lindley, was with us, and he asked the manager there, how much do these women pay? Because the bags are so heavy, the baskets are so heavy, and they got a pay rise because Corey Lindley didn't think it was enough, so he gave them a pay rise, and that was very beautiful. So it's good for skin blemishes. So you can put a little bit on the skin. Just be aware that your skin might be sensitive. So just do a test beforehand, but great for skin blemishes, great for diffusing and killing odors in the air. So a very beautiful oil for killing bad odors. It's one that I would just think of mainly for muscles and having a massage with it and just really supporting the muscular system. But here I am looking at this, and it's going emotionally, it's about letting go of control. So that's another beautiful one. If you're feeling like you need to be right, for example, if you feel like you need to be right, then diffuse the oil. It helps you to just let go of control and the need to be, I'm right, not you, I am. So that's a beautiful oil. So it has these magic qualities. It supports to trust and let go and let divine will come through, not my will. So it's really about getting out of your own way. So maybe 1 or 2 drops on the hand, taking a couple of deep breaths and just asking thy will, not my will, to support you as you actually let go of control, yeah? And believing that you're right and maybe no one else. So it's opening you up to possibilities. So it's a very beautiful oil. So that's our 3 oils. And then our final one is our deep blue rub, which speaks for itself. It's our athletic cream and it's fantastic. I tell you, if you are an athlete or you're anyone that does sport, it's a great oil. You will have this in your gym bags. You'll have this everywhere. It's incredible, and it really does help the body and the muscles relax. Fantastic, fantastic for massaging, and it's all about surrendering the pain. That's your physical pain, emotional pain. It's a beautiful, beautiful blend of essential oils in here, and it does have a whole bottle of a 5 ml essential deep blue oil inside the rub, and it's great for bigger areas, larger areas. So that's all our little, what I have here is surrendering pain with this, with our deep blue. So hopefully you all get online and order your oils and your deep blue rub. Highly, highly recommend them all. They're very, very beautiful. And I wish you all a happy day.